How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another autism vlog from Tostemac. In this vlog, we're going to be talking about the importance of literature. Or more specifically, why people with autism should get into literature. We all live in a day and age now where everything's all visual, from your basic PowerPoints to graphics design to even the high-def movies and video games that we've all come to know and expect these days. But sometimes we get so caught up in the visual stuff that we often forget about the important things, like the writing, the scripting, the dialogue, the storyboard, whatever you want to call it. Because sometimes the things you write down on a piece of paper or type on a keyboard to a computer can be a lot more meaningful than the big visual effects that you see on the big screen. Words can be very powerful. They are the means to meaning, the basis of our communications, and depending on how you word it in a certain way in a sentence, can make that sentence a lot more stronger and bring something out of the readers that sometimes they didn't even know they had. As a kid growing up with autism, one of my biggest obstacles was how to deal with emotions. And it wasn't that I didn't know what the emotions looked like. I could see it in the pictures and movies and whatnot, but I just didn't know how to convey them myself. I had to bring it out of me and make my face look like eee. So what I ended up doing was, whenever I got the chance, I started reading a bunch of short stories or whatever other stories I can get my hands on. From your basic comic strips of the Peanuts or Garfield, to some of the Dr. Seuss books, to even a couple novels that my dad had laying around the bookshelf. Sorry. And as I read these stories, I tried to not just read the lines on the piece of paper, but also jump into the story, jump into the character's shoes, to try to figure out what they're feeling depending on the current situation. And with a bunch of practice and trial and error with my friends and family, I started to understand not only what the emotions looked like, but also how to bring them out of me and how to express it to other people. From happy to sadness, to scared, to angry, to how I deal with Thomas on a regular basis. As time went by, I started to look into other medias whenever I got the chance. From video games or movies to even animes or mangas or light novels, again, whatever I can get my hands on. But the one thing I look at or look for, no matter what media I'm in, no matter what media I'm looking into, the one thing I look for is a good story. Not just something that gets me to point A to point B of the media I'm in, but also something that leaves an impact on me. Something that I am bound to remember and tell my friends and family, like, hey, you know about this story? It's totally awesome. You should totally look into it. What counts as a good story, you may ask? Well, there's a lot to it. It's not really something so simple. First off, a good story has to be interesting. It has to make you think. Not just a plot that just gets you through it, but make you think about the situation like, oh, what does this mean? Is this gonna mean something later? Or, oh, how did I not see that coming? A good story should also invoke something, bring something out of you, make you feel something, whether it be happiness, envy, confusion, anger, or complete disgust. Something. But most importantly, a good story has to challenge you. It has to make you, again, think, but also question how you view certain things. And most of all, leave you a different person than you were before you came to the story. If you're still feeling the same after reading a story, then odds are that story didn't really leave much of an impact on you. Stories like Of Mice and Men and Game of Thrones can show that just because the story doesn't have a happy ending doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be a good story, as long as it left you feeling something. Stories like The Merchant of Venice can portray a lot of emotions, but also portray some current situations like prejudice through the dialogues and the way they speak, to how things are written. And other stories, like my personal favorite, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, can inspire people to pursue their own personal legends and create their own legacy. Like I'm doing right now. How am I doing? So, if you're someone with autism trying to how to learn about emotions, or maybe a parent that's trying to bond with their kid who has autism, I would highly recommend just getting a book and reading with them. But try to read it in advance so that you know how characters are supposed to feel or convey and whatnot. And as you read to your kid or friend with autism, try to act, become the character, become part of the story, so that that other person sees what goes on your face and hears what goes on in your voice, so that way they too can understand and convey it to other people. Because a good story is not just about reading, it's also about feeling. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to this vlog, or seeing this vlog. Yeah. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next vlog, which will be next Saturday at 3 p.m. If you missed the first vlog by any chance, here's a link to the previous video right here. Right here. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. Okay, that's gonna get really annoying really fast. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this vlog. It really means a lot. And until the next video, see you later.